This video will be for our Mastercam translation file. Part is for the exercise for tutorial number 2. We're given some basic geometry to see the symmetry, so we'll go through the process in SolidWorks as an example or an illustration, and then on the actual assignment we'll be doing the import and working around title blocks and dimensions and, well, pretty much everything else that comes in with it. So apply this out of the way. And let's see, resize my screen just a little bit. All right, so file, new, we're in a part inch. All right, because we're going to use the symmetry, I will just stay in the front plane. Open up the center line, make it an infinite length horizontal. Don't know that it really matters. We'll just start from the end. I'm going to use contours and regions to speed up a little bit here. So diameter of the interior is 0.75, and the exterior is 0.625. So since that's, or no, that's given as a radius. So since that's given as a radius, we're going to accept. Switch over to liters, go into the radius, and then we can go 0.625. Let's see for our lines then. And we're given kind of an intersection on this one, if I remember correctly, so I'll bring that over. And I'm going to select the chain. And then if I go into mirror and select the mirror line after the fact, then we'll be able to see what was produced. Alright, so connecting those, I'm in a tangent arc. And because of the symmetry, I shouldn't have to worry about tangency on the back side. So let's go ahead and start getting some dimensions in here. 2.25, and that got a little bit inverted, so 0.75. Alright, to the center is 4 inches. Alright, let's take a look. Alright, so center line through the top of the arc, and that comes out to an intersection, so, and then from the center to the outside was the 1.125. Okay, so we have an angle of 30 degrees. Alright, and then there is kind of a hidden line that shows up tangent to the arc. And that one's not specifically called out. So given the obround and then that arc location coming up tangent, let's see, and then the radius. All right, so we come off of our geometry. Let's see, what was the thickness on that? So 1 inch on the handle. We'll go into the obround, pick our points. So not real fond of having a center line on top of the center line. It makes it kind of hard to select. All right, so 1" 750. And then its location. Well, if we come up for the radius, let's see, 1" 125 would be off of that corner. So, yeah, so let's go for a center point arc here. And not entirely sure that's what I want, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in. And that becomes a construction circle so that we have the tangency. Okay, so that gives it a location. Let's see, how are these able to move? All right, so another tangency. Let's see, what do we have? Radius, or 250 typical off of the side wall. Okay, so I would put it at a 1/2 inch. And if they're going to do that as a radius of 0.125, well, that would just make that tangent. So in that case, let's see what that looks like. We'll go ahead and select, Control Select, pick up tangency. All right, so a little bit of a gap. All right, brings that up to the radius. Also happens to look like it's touching at the end circle. All right, I think that gives me the majority of the geometry minus the fillets. If we wanted to, we could convert that back and use it as part of our build and eliminate the fillet there. So let's go ahead and see what we get. I'll leave it with the contours and regions. So blind in condition, thickness is 0.5. And the regions that we're going to be extruding are all of those. And I do think I want it to go away. That'll make it a little, go the other way into Z. That'll make it a little easier to use the sketch again. And now it becomes an extruded cut. And then that depth is 0.1875. Okay, so we'll go ahead and save that. Oh, yeah, I guess it would help to put in a couple of radiuses. What are we given? So 0.25. Right, and then rotate around. And 0.25. All right, so that looks pretty good. Okay, so now we can save this. And we'll put this in my transfer folder. So tutorial number 2 for the exercise, and save it. All right, so at this point I could output this as a DWG, and we can do a save as. And we're looking for the DWG file. I'm going to look at the options. We're just going to kind of make sure it's an older version. Splines go out as splines. We also have them convert to polylines, but we don't have any splines. All sheets are for drawings. Since we're just doing this, we'll go ahead and save. It can ask us for the current. Tend to go for the phase and then the output alignment. I can set additional values. So if I wanted it on the corner, we have the x-axis, y-axis, and the output alignment. Let's see if it's going to let me have the point. Okay, y. Okay, it's not cycling, so there we go. So that symbol tends to mean it's looking for a coordinate system. I think we were all okay on that one. So anyway, I'll leave it with the 0, 0. All right, so it shows me the preview, and then I can hit save. So that would be the easier method to output to the file. All right, when it gets done saving, then a lot of times what you'll get is, let's see, I have my A-size drawing, that's fine. As a template, we'll bring in the part, and we'll go ahead and create the multiple views. And we can show those as hidden lines, and then our scale is 1/2 scale, which is actually pretty much what I want. So we'll put it in hidden lines. Apparently that one's not using the parent style, so it'll give us a little more depth. And in all reality, that should be a section view. So I'm going to get rid of that, go into the section, make sure that it's a horizontal section. Now, if we're going to look at it that way, then it can just go. Alright, so the crosshatch happened to pick up on the center marks. We're just going to switch that back to none. Alright, so we're still in center. We have a few more center marks I'd like to add. And when they go to the slot, that's always interesting. Let's go to the 2 endpoints of the slot. Alright, that's pretty much what I wanted. Okay, so I'm not going to include the stock information on this one. I do need to switch over to dimensions. There, so just off screen. And we'll set the 2 depths that we need. Alright, so I'm going to stay with their dimension scheme so that it's consistent, but if I was building this, I would be giving it a little more geometry that a little more representative of the geometry that we would be measuring. So probably pick one of the corners. Alright, so have those, let's see, the 1/2 inch for the slot. And then we'll notice that these are in 2 decimal places, so I'm going to switch over to the units. Go to 3 decimal places. Alright, that's looking a little better. Give ourselves a little more room. Alright, so radiuses. 1.25. Some of these really, based on, are going to come out to be duplicate dimensions. So go ahead and give that one typical. All right, so what else do we have? 0.625, 0.75. Okay, and then 1 inch. All right, and the other dimension was for the stock. So radius, and then a 0.25. See if we can reverse that one. Not quite cooperating on that one. So, haven't seen it do that in a while. No, looks like it missed a radius on the bottom. That too? No, I guess they're there. Okay, and then let's see, we have the 1.25, and then a radius of 0.75. All right, and then from center to the end. Okay, and that gets a good portion of it anyway. And then we will save those. I didn't fill out the rest of my title block, but that'll be okay. So save. We'll go ahead and let this have the same name. And then file, save as. We're going to send this out to the DWG again. And so I'm going to be duplicating it. Let's see, I'm going to give this one, is going to have the title block. Okay, so that gives me enough information to bring this into my CAM package and then start the programming.